Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. Guys, I just want to apologize for a bit of a delay on getting reviews out and stuff like that. I've actually just been going through some personal things and the passing on of a very close friend of mine, etc. So yeah, things are going to slowly start getting back to normal. The reviews are going to kick up into high gear. I've got quite a bit of kit to get through, so it's going to be exciting times. So guys, today on my South African series of knife reviews, we're looking at a Andre Erasmus knife. This of course comes in Andre's new packaging, which is really nice. The fit and finish, everything is really cool. I like this. It's different from many of the others where we're getting them in boxes. Yes, nothing wrong with a good pretty box, but this takes things up a notch, guys. I like it. So we open up the tin. Inside we see we've got a microfiber cloth, branded of course. This is really nice. It's a nice touch. And here we've got the certificate of origin. This is the Sela 2 design folder, ATS 34 blade. It's a liner lock with washers, titanium. Yeah, so this is going to be quite interesting. G10, black G10, no bolsters. This knife 24th of the 4th 2023, so this is going to be cool to check it out. Andre's business card for anybody who'd like to reach out to him. There's all his contact details there. This will also be posted at the end of the video so that you guys can get onto that. Then we open up, and there we have the knife itself. And I like this packaging. It is really nice and different. So beautiful knife, eh? It's hard to not find this really cool. I mean, this is just something else. But let's get closer to this on the bench now and take a deeper look at this knife. Guys, so here we have the Sela 2. Before I open it up, let's just take a closer look at everything on this knife. As you can look at this, I don't know how they've done the effect. Could be with heat or whatever the case may be, but just everything about it. I mean, this is a nice pivot screw. It actually looks really cool. This is the black G10 scales. Really gorgeous. I love the shape of this. And we'll move on to the back. Guys, this is where this knife for me really stands out, is this back spacer. Look at the amount of work and time that must have gone into this. I mean, everything about this is just finished off beautifully. Really stunning. Again, look at the space between these two over here. That's next level. So everything you look at, the finish of everything is just finished off beautifully. Here we go across to the front. You can see the knife has got the same sort of, I wouldn't call it jimping, but patterning. There's some jimping over here on the flipper side. And on the back, you've got this beautiful pocket clip, black G10, and that nice pivot screw. Look how thin this pocket clip is. Absolutely next level. Excuse the noise in the background. It's a bit of a busy time of day, but the actual deep review of this will be in quieter times. So yeah, stunning. Now let's take a look at the blade on this. The flipping mechanism on this is a little different from what I'm used to, but I'm getting used to it. Check how once it's engaged and open, the blade and the back spacer and everything sort of just falls in line. This jimping, everything, man, look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the fit and finish again is next level, guys. The lockup on this, as you can see, you got a 50% lockup on the liner lock. That is really good. This blade doesn't move at all. There's no wiggle room in it. Just really an insanely beautiful knife. All right, guys. So yeah, I've just put the ATS, the Sela 2 against this is a large sort of sheep's foot honey badger. Just to give you the idea of the size of this knife. It's a really nice compact EDC folder, but still with quite a bit of decent cutting edge on it. If you have a look at that, you'll see the actual cutting edge of these two is more or less the same size. The blade steel itself is a much higher grade blade steel. It's about the same width, but the ATS 34 steel is obviously far superior to the HCR 13 MOV or D2 or any of those or the likes. It's just a given with the type of steel that's being used. ATS 34, I've never really owned ATS 34. Yeah, this polish is so good, you can see every reflection of everything that I'm doing. I know, although this hasn't been sharpened up or polished up as yet after some testing, the knife is still crazy sharp. It still slices through anything. I do believe the sharpening of these can be quite tricky with the ATS 34, but for now it doesn't need any sharpening whatsoever. So just to talk a little bit about the materials on this knife, this is the ATS 34 steel. It's something different from me. I've never seen ATS 34 steel, so the spec of the steel will be posted and spoken about more in depth at the end of the video on the sort of roundup of this knife. This G10, the patterning is beautiful. Everything about it, this blue titanium liners, a positive lockup on the blue titanium liners, this pocket clip. It's crazy rigid for how thin it is. Just everything. Look at that, the spacing between the blade and the liners. It's absolutely incredible, guys. This really takes pocket folders to the next level as opposed to mass-produced stuff. I was told I'm going to fall in love with these handmade knives, and I actually agree. They're beautiful. The shape of this knife for me is very much like the CRKT tuner, just a little bit more improved with much better patterning and design. Absolutely incredible. Andre Erasmus, this is a gorgeous knife. It's worth twice what I think you charge for it, but it's really a beautiful knife. I love it. And let's just get now more in depth with the technical side of this knife, explaining the sort of spec of the steel and that sort of stuff, just so that we can all get a good idea of what quality and what time and what effort was put into making this beautiful blade. Not to get too deep and dark into the steels, but the ATS 34 does measure up alongside the 154 CM from Crucible. This is made by Hitachi. I'm not going to go into the chemical compositions, but this has really good 60 to 61 HRC sort of level hardness and edge retention. So it's going to work for a long time, and it's going to maintain its edge for a long time. It's not as stainless resistant as some other steels, but it's definitely usable and will definitely perform very well over many years. The titanium liners on this, the cutouts, the edging, the detailed work on the backspace, everything just blows my mind. Lots of great materials. I'm not too sure if the backspacer is also ATS 34, but the entire blade is ATS 34. The backspacer probably stainless steel, titanium liners, and the G10 handles. I mean, just the fit and finish. And as we look at a close-up of the blade, the polishing, the work put into this, you can just see that these handmade knives are made with a lot of care, a lot of attention to detail. The pocket clip here, again, just that coloration on the pocket clip. I'm not sure how they get that effect, but it looks completely gorgeous. Just everything, the more I look, the more I see. If you acquire and you're looking for something really different, the Sela 2 from Andre Erasmus is definitely something to look at. That screw, pivot screw, the G10 handles, I love the detailing, the coloration. Everything is just put together with a lot of love and care and attention. It looks absolutely awesome. Hey guys, so just to conclude the video on this Andre Erasmus Sela 2. So just some of the details that I found out about this beautiful blade is the knife blade itself is based on the Sheffield Steel Hanskaki, which I'm still looking to do a review on. I'm hoping to be able to acquire one of those. So the initial blade design originally came from there and was implemented into this Andre Erasmus Sela 2 knife. So this design from the Sheffield Steel range, the actual blade shape, etc. itself, comes from Andre Ferri's Hanskaki design, and then it was incorporated into the Sela handle from Andre Erasmus, and then that's basically what's
made up this Sela 2 beauty. Now, this is my first knife from Andre Erasmus, and I must say I absolutely love this knife. This is stuff, guys, when you go from, I was told, stepping from your traditional sort of I don't know, Chinese or American made folders and stuff into the locally produced South African market, I've always been a bit skeptical of it, because you speak to people and it's like, really, what more can you get from a knife? 8CR 13 MOV or any of the American made blades. However, what you get from this, guys, is several fold, in my opinion. One of them is, I've never seen ATS 34 steel. What I do know about ATS 34 steel, I believe it's made by Hitachi, which is the Japanese equivalent of 154 CM, or very similar sort of chemical composition, making this an incredibly strong blade, an incredibly rigid yet strong blade, i.e. there's two things that affect blades. One of them is edge retention, which comes from the hardness of the steel. If the steel's too hard, it's not tough. If it's too tough, it's not hard. So it's a bit of a mixed amona. The way I look at it is, if it is too brittle, i.e. too hardened or too rigid, if it flexes, it's going to shatter or break. However, if it's a bit softer, it would be a little bit more tough. It wouldn't shatter from movement and stuff, but your edge retention would suffer. So it's a bit of a balancing act, and I believe this ATS 34 from Hitachi really steps up the game. It gets it up to a 154 CM sort of stuff, hardness around 60 to 62 from what I read up on ATS 34, which is incredibly good for edge retention, guys. So yes, not only is this a pretty blade, it's also a very practical pocket carry blade, something that you can happily take with you on an adventure or as an everyday carry. For me, this is an everyday carry that you can show off. It's an everyday carry you don't hand to your friend, because you don't know if he's going to try and jimmy open a screw or something like that in a server rack or whatever the case may be. But it's a beautiful piece of hardware. I mean, just everything about it, guys. I just can't get over how much time must have been spent actually making this knife. So yeah, I know, not a highly technical sort of discussion around it, but this is just my initial review of the Sela 2 knife, and from what I can tell you so far, I'm in love with it. Andre Erasmus, beautiful. Keep these guys coming. This is a really awesome range of knives. I look forward to seeing much more of your work. And yeah, Andre Ferry, thank you for selling me this blade, man. It's one of my favorite today. So the other thing you get is the joy knowing that you're actually supporting a local business or a person who's making these sort of knives to make a living. You're not supporting a mass chain of stores manufacturing thousands of knives. You're buying from a selection of, probably, as far as I know, there's 2 of these currently in existence. I'm not too sure, that could possibly be confirmed. But you're never going to get thousands of these out in the field. You're always going to get a few of them out there. And neither, even if there are 10 of them out there, not all of them are identical. They all have slight differences. And this takes away from that mass manufacturing and takes it back to the guys spending the time and putting in the dedication to make something like this. So yeah, just wanted to say that. Those, for me, are the 2 most important things. You're getting a great quality knife, and you're also supporting a local businessman who's trying to make a living and produce these beautiful works of art. So guys, that's it from the channel for today. I am going to be stepping up the game. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I have been going through some sort of personal things with a very close friend of mine passing away recently. So I'm busy catching up on life and catching up on the reviews, and there's going to be a lot more reviews coming. So guys, hit that subscribe button. Should be coming up somewhere in the video. Hit the subscribe button, keep watching, and until next time, take care.